Hello, everyone. Oh, you hear me? Well, nice. Today we are speaking a little bit about GenAI, how we did it for clients, and okay, of course, no pain, no gain. Hello, by the way, everybody who watch us online. I appreciate that. Yeah, and previous speaker actually mentioned that for someone, GenAI might be painful. Yeah, for some our project it was painful. And now I am going to tell you why. Okay, a few words about me. I'm Daria Lashkevich, working with Accenture almost 8 years, whole life. I'm mostly working as GenAI engineer and computer vision engineer, last for 6 years, but I started as a QA manager. I also ready to communicate about that if you want. Okay, I have a lot of papers, a lot of certificates just to prove that I can work in cloud. Why not? And of course, I'm a mom, very active son who actually already trying to be engineer, and maybe sometimes he also invented something like AI or Skynet. I hope so. Okay, a little bit about our company. For all of you who didn't visit our stand in a hall, please do it. And you can win some fancy socks and recognize deepfakes and so on. But I presented my ST. It's a data and AI Baltics. We working more than 10 years, and we already delivered more than 280 projects. And we are largest the data and AI community in Europe across Accenture. And if you really want, we are hiring ML, LLM engineers. Just check. I also part of machine learning and data science guild. Yeah, we are doing a lot of stuff, but you know what? To be proud and to tell you a secret, our guys can really do any impossible task. Really, I'm not joking, really. Because I heard so many times that our project manager just came and tell, okay, guys, can you do it? But it's impossible, no one even didn't try it. Can you do it? Yeah, of course we can do it. Why not? It's like no boundaries here. Yeah, and people, it's really the richest thing what Accenture can provide. Apply. Okay, let's talk. I know that you have a lot of talk today or yesterday also about GenAI, and someone can think that GenAI is something like a magic, and maybe it's like a black box, and you even don't know how it works, but it's how ChatGPT thinking that GenAI works. You see, one thing I noticed here, it's pictures generated by AI, because even ChatGPT thinking that every GenAI requires a lot of data, like a lot of data. And unfortunately, GenAI is not a magic. I think half of time, or maybe more than half of time, you have to do pre-processing of your data and post-processing of your data, and it's really painful. Okay, and even sometimes anywhere or anyone, maybe from you, can create any software which can prepare data for GenAI from scratch. I will invest. I promise. I will invest. Just take me aside and I will invest. Okay, what GenAI can do? Of course, we can use different input data. It might be images, it might be text, speech, documents, 3D signals, sometimes sounds, and it couldn't even generate some musics, and it could be applicable for anything. But I know that a lot of staff just doing it for chatbots, to make some agents which can actually answer you. But today, I'm talking about different about something different, how we can create, how we can handle with images with GenAI, and how we can handle with custom LLM fine-tuning. But here, it's our proof of concept in GenAI. Please take a picture, because I don't want, and I won't speak about it. If you want, we can connect after that. But it's really all our proof of concept. Just take a picture, just keep it somewhere. Today we are speaking about client project, what we derived for our client. And first one, I think it's for custom LLM fine-tuning. Our client was one global business magazine. And this magazine just came to us and thought, okay, guys, I have a lot of data, like tons of data, a lot of articles, a lot of videos, pictures, and even very big data frame with a very long list of companies and information about their profits, assets, shares, and their ratings in different years. I want to organize it. And I want to create a chatbot for our users. And this chatbot could be able to answer on any question which our users can ask. For example, who is now CEO of Google? Who was CEO of Google in the 90s? And also, our users want to see like forecast based on our big data. Recommended, for example, how much the shares of this company will cost in next year based on our recommendation system. I know that guys who are doing like pure data science already created some recommendation system and built all these graphs to see trends and how it works. And now we should train our LLM to do it. Okay, we split this project for two ways, path A and path B. I'm mostly working with path B to generate graphs. Unfortunately, when we started this project, ChatGPT-O wasn't released yet. And when we tried all existing generative AI models, nothing actually could be done. And we had to create our own, to train our own LLM to build charts based on our big data frame. Actually, it's an official press release from our client. If you want, you can also check. It's very big, long read with a lot of fancy video, if you want. And you can even apply for beta testing group to check it. Okay, but what problems actually which we faced for path B? First, it's a data mess. Because our client has Excel sheets for 70 years. You can imagine, it's like 70 different Excel sheets. And they started from 1951. And you can imagine actually how much human errors we can find in these Excel sheets. How much human errors, because actually some people in 2000, I would say, which created these Excel sheets from papers, they did a lot of mistakes. Especially some companies change industries. Some company has a misspelling in company names. Some company also has mistakes about the location and headquarters. And all this stuff we actually had to clean. Because for LLM, it doesn't know actually what company it is. Maybe it can know some companies for last 5 years or last 2 years, but we have companies for 70 years. And I think we spent, I don't know, maybe half of this project to clean data, really. And after that, about history, for example, LLM didn't know that some company change a name. For example, Meta and Facebook, we know that it's the same company, right? And Google and Alphabet, we also know that it's the same company, but LLM didn't. And by the way, we trained different LLM, like Llama 2 that time, Llama 3, Mixtral and Mistral, and different variations, but no one knows. And it means that we also have to prepare these connections between company names. Next problem is human language, because client requires that LLM can answer any human questions. And it could be, hey, what's up, guy? Give me like a chart, or please build me a bar chart for these companies, yeah, like this. And we really spend a lot of time to create like a proper data set based on human language. Unfortunately, we are working only with English, but maybe in next time we can also translate it to local languages. And what we also noticed that sometimes LLM actually messed if company name includes some state name or country name. For example, if you have like IT industry West, sometimes LLM just thinking that we are speaking only about state, or some Wisconsin, or some Texas also, and it was also mess. But what actually we can do with it? We create a proper data set. I will show you later how we did it. And we're also working with the prompt parameters. If you attend yesterday a brilliant talk of my colleague Matthias regarding LLMs, he also told about prompting, but unfortunately it didn't release that time, and we had to update our prompt parameters manually. And what we actually try, we try user prompts first, like just user prompts. Of course it didn't work, because in such case, LLM even didn't know our column names in like this big data frame. Okay, we added column names with description, because now our LLM can produce any Python code, and after that we have to process it just to show pictures for end user. But sometimes it didn't understand what kind of industry it is, and sometimes it didn't understand actually what kind of company names it is. Okay, we added in a prompt all company names, all industry names, and you know what? We didn't have enough tokens. Because when we tried, we just limited like 4K tokens, and we didn't have it. It wasn't enough, and we have to increase it for 6K tokens. Of course, now ChatGPT already had the possibility to increase for 16 tokens, but that time it was a problem area. And we even created like external memory just to have a special memory for our prompt generation. But the final prompt, it just consists user prompts, data frames, column names with descriptions, all company names, all industry names, also all company names with connections between history names, and also chart types code examples. Because do you know actually difference between bar charts horizontal and bar charts vertical? Do you know? Yeah, like intuitively, right? Theoretically. But LLM sometimes really messed up with that, and we really had a problem with that. And that's why we just had to show our LLM which kind of types of charts we actually expected. Because we had to limit it, okay, we provided like vertical bar charts, horizontal bar charts, pie charts, map charts, line charts, and multi-line charts. That's it for this project. But sometimes you never know, and you couldn't predict sometimes LLM output, but we have to predict because we measure accuracy. Okay, we stay with such a prompt. What we do next? We created our data set. First, we just created like 10K random prompts with expected charts and train. But it didn't work because of the problems which I actually mentioned. And after that, we just split it in different way. we added 40% like human language created prompts. We actually working with a special writer, and I think all our teams, especially who has English like a native language, created like a different jargon talks, how it could be, just to include it our data set. And after that, we also add some 10% edge cases. It's regarding some companies which already includes country names and state names. And rest 40% we equally distributed by chart types. Because I remember we have only 5 chart types. And of course, we added our golden standard for every chart types based on keywords, because sometimes humans cannot mention, for example, which kind of chart it's just expected, and in such case, LLM just make a decision its own, which kind of chart it should be. Okay, we made 24 iterations, and unfortunately, it just requires 4 more. But only in 27 training iterations, we can understand that, yeah, it's working. But you know what? How do you think we test all our LLMs? Like, you can imagine that people actually manually have some 1K user prompts and expected graphs, really compare it manually. Of course not. We implemented like a special computer vision model which can compare our generated graphs and our expected graphs, like pixel by pixel. Actually, it's also check that we have a proper header and that we have a proper legend, that we have a proper fonts, because it also was a requirements, and that it's sorted by proper parameters, like by company name, by industry name, because sometimes it was sorted like in different way, and it didn't face our requirement. But we did it for 8 months, I would say, and what results we have? 95% accuracy. It's like client was super happy, and they announced it's like a first client custom LLM creating charts, but in the same time, ChatGPT all released. But anyway, and our client user just get a full access to the whole data less than a minute. And we even create our research paper, and you can also check it, how actually we did it to make this fine-tuning of customer LLM. But now let's talk about something different. It's also client project, and we also try to check visual language models. I think we also will have a talk from Rolando today, after my talk. But what we have, this is a project was about how to legally watch movies and cartoons at work. Jealous, right? I am really watching cartoons at work. But first stage of this project was, okay, client just came and told, okay, I have some movies, I created movies, and I want to detect who is speaking, like in a particular moment, and to watch he or she is speaking. It's easy, right? Because we have a lot of open source, like black boxes, and a lot of software which can actually detect human faces, which can detect what human is speaking, it can detect lips movement, and it also can detect like speech to text. It's easy. You can combine everything. Yeah, okay, it's working. Like ready to go product. But our client also produced cartoons. Okay, please raise your hands who actually loves to watch cartoons like adults, not with your children, but yourself. Raise your hands. Okay, not so much people, but anyway. And you remember that cartoons characters could be different one. It could be anyone. It could be like singing mushrooms, singing funity, any type of monsters without eyes, without something, without face, but we should detect it. Anyway, what we tried? We tried visual language model, different one, and we just, as an input, we put like picture and description. Okay, show me green bounding boxes and bounding boxes on the character who is speaking right now. What we expect? That, yeah, it can describe who is speaking right now and can actually detect on a picture. It means that we should have a coordinates, right? We should have a coordinates who is actually speaking. And we tried different visual language models, and from Hugging Face and from Cloud. For example, this is one test of Gemini from Google. But here, you see, like the main problem, this model could work with video. Okay, we just can put a video there, but before it, we should preprocess it like 1 frame per second. Regular video has a 25 or 23 frames per second, but you can imagine when we preprocess, it's like 1 frame per second, which kind of sound we can hear. Like a tiger, yeah, like a tiger. But we cannot even hear words, right? In such case, it could be, it could have input like a sound, but do it really understand what is speaking? Because we also need to know what is speaking, not only who is speaking, right? And what we also can do, we can retrain it. But also here, you see, it's a description which we get. Description is correct, okay. This blonde guy with a big nose, he is speaking right now. But we don't have a coordinates. We didn't detect it. We don't know where this guy is speaking, yeah? But it was like a crucial requirement from client, because in the future, like this software should be used to protect our client movies and cartoons against stealing, against pirates. Because, yeah, it can help for dubbing, but when actually our client gave some movies for dubbing, a lot of different studios just stole it and sold to pirates, and it means that, okay, we can actually watch movie which were pre-released before, but we can defend our client, and we are expected that actually when we detect where is a person or character who is speaking, the rest of the surface of our images should be covered by watermarks. And only face should be clear for actors, actually, who is dubbing. But we cannot do it without coordinates. Okay, it didn't suit us. OpenAI also, when we tried, okay, you can see that here it's not a humans, it's mushrooms. And unfortunately, that time OpenAI didn't have a possibility to upload videos. It means that it didn't have any input with audio. It's analyzed only images. Yeah, it can analyze. We can see description that, yeah, it's like green mushroom with a bird is speaking right now. Yes, might be. And also, it can analyze different. But what if someone, not speaking, but for example, chewing, or just screaming, or just very tired and making, but he is not speaking. And it means that we have a lot of false positive results in such case. We definitely should analyze every sound, because how it could be? It could be every sound, and that's why we realize that actually GenAI is not ready for such project. And it means that we should train our own model, maybe not a classical one, just to detect character who is speaking and also analyze sound. But our client was against to train. Because you know that if you train new object detection, it means that you have to train like this, and you have to label manually a lot of data set, a lot of actually frames, who is speaking. We try to avoid it. Client was agreed only with few shot training or even with zero shot training. What we did, we try to do it zero shot. We try segment anything from Facebook. Here you shouldn't create like a labeling data set, but you should do it for every movie. For every movie, you should calculate how much characters you should track. Even if they are the same, like looks the same, it's like 3 separate characters, and you should track 3 separate characters. And once you should put it in one frame like a mark, just okay, we should track this character, and after that you can get a prediction with faces, with bounding boxes, with coordinates, or with segmentation. It's based on your choice, and you can get it. And after that, when we can track our characters, we also can analyze sound and can see it's the same characters speaking, or they are chewing, or they are tired, or something. I will show you some video from open Netflix cartoon, actually what we implement, and you will see yourself. Okay.
Well, this better be good. It took me ages to tie that rope with my fucking hoofs.
No more need for hoofs. No more sheepy business. Oh, time flies.
Wait. How does this thing work? I mean, how do I make it work?
No, you don't. I just turned it on for you.
Did you see the difference between human and sheep? Sheep wasn't recognized so accurately, right? But it's still recognized. And for example, if you want to train it, like with few shot segmentation, with data set based on only 100 pictures, it will work perfectly. Now we delivered it in client, it's already working, and I really hope that all new cartoons of this client won't be stolen. And what else we have? For the same client, we're also working with AI search. Usually, when I talk about AI search, people just thinking about vector database and some AI search between text and some AI search between some documents. No, that time we have to work with video again. But first of all, a little bit what AI search is. When you're thinking about AI search, you have to remember for which purpose you actually learn your linear algebra in university. Because it's all about vectors. You can have any of your audio, any of your documents, pictures, and video. After that, you should use any embedding models. Usually, it's like different models, like clip for videos, BERT for texts. And your embedding models create vectors, actually. Vector representation from your data. And after that, it's like indexing process. It means that all your data in index. And after that, when you have your query, like a text, your request, it's also operating by embedding models, create some vectors, and after that, we have a magic. We can calculate like Euclid distance between these two vectors, and the shortest distance will be like, okay, we found the closest one. It also could be like nearest neighbors, like different operations with vectors, and we can see results with the closest vector. But how we can actually implement it for our client, which I talked before? Okay. For new release cartoons, our client just want to provide us concept arts of new characters or 3D models of new characters. And based on this video or pictures, we have to find in old cartoons or in different pieces of new cartoons, actually all scenes with this character. It means that we should have get time steps. For example, maybe some of you already can realize that sometimes people who create cartoons just didn't remember actually what was the favorite dress of this character, how it looks before, how it looks when it was younger. Because actually, if they want to check it manually, it was take a lot of time. It took really a lot of time just to find the same scene where it was before, how it looks like before. But it's like you don't have so much time when you produce cartoons. And we can use like different similarity search. Usually it's like a lot of codes and you have like one as an output if it's similar, or 0 as an output if it's not similar. But here it's 12 Labs has a really good visual content, and I will show you based on Sketchfun Labs 3D models how it works. For example, I create my index in 12 Labs and I upload some 3D models of different things there, and I want to find there like a special pieces of cartoons where we have a hole in a vase. And it's found actually, you can see that confidence is high, and even for another, not like this, but also for this, it's also found, but confidence like less, it's low, just because it's not proper vase. And in this time, you can even see which kind of cartoons and what types of cartoons, what time steps you can check your old movies or your real movies, you can just check. But for example, what you can do if we have like concept art, it's a sketch, right? It's not a video, it's a sketch. And in such case, we even can check that it's the same character from sketch. For example, maybe you know, like Inside Out, the second, which was released recently. And sometimes we couldn't actually find the sketch of different emotions, but some of them looks like a human and some of them don't look like a human. But even if we use only one sketch, but with different perspective, like a front, back, right, left, it's still working. We also could create like a 360 video from this sketch and it will work. I also have a demo for you, how it actually could work. Let's check. For example, if we are looking for a dog with holding a glass, and we have some different movies here. Yeah, okay. I think it's a Brian from Family Guy, right? And you see that actually it found all the time steps where Brian holding a glass. And it also with different perspective you can see, but all the time you can see that glass, right? In such case, I really hope that we actually helped our client to produce like new cartoons, really with new Easter eggs. And some of them who actually complain that, okay, sequel is worst and prequel is worst, we actually now can expect the new cartoons based on new technologies. I think that's it which I have.